What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the GameFreak. Today we are going to talk about a cart that Evercade announced yesterday, and it is going to release in September, actually September 30th. And that is the Bitmap Brothers 2 collection. And this is a blue cart, and it has 6 games on it. And the names of the games that are on it are Cadaver, Cadaver the Payoff, Gods, Magic Pockets, the Chaos Engine 2, and Z. So originally I was going to show you some of my gameplay because on my arcade stick, or not arcade stick, it's a game stick that I have hooked to my Freecade, has like 40,000 games on it, tons of different systems, emulators, stuff like that. And let me show you what I ran into. So as you can see, I have the Amiga collection on here. In fact, I have the whole Amiga collection. I have every game for the Amiga on here. However, I cannot play any of them. I click on it and it won't let me use a controller. It'll take me to the game menu, but I need to go into the settings and then hook up a keyboard to play any of these games. Alright, so that kind of sucks, but it's not really a big deal. I'm gonna show you some gameplay of each of these 6 games, and I'm gonna tell you a little bit about the games, and then I will let you know what I think of these games just by looking at them and watching some gameplay, and if I'm interested in the cart. So let's go into some gameplay. Let's check these out. The first 2 games on the cart is Cadaver and Cadaver the Payoff. Cadaver is an isometric action-adventure game by the Bitmap Brothers. It was originally released by Imageworks in August 1990 for the Atari ST, Amiga, and MS-DOS. A Mega Drive version was planned but never released. In the game, you control a dwarf with a name that I'm not real sure how to pronounce properly. Cadaver the Payoff is just an add-on to the game and story. It provides you with 4 new levels with new enemies, new items, and more. Next, we have Gods. Precise and timed jumping are required to progress. Planning each move carefully yields better results health-wise than attempting to rush through a level, and there are some puzzles, often involving levers and objects, which require the player to go back and forth in the level, since there is only a 4-space inventory where objects required to get bonuses such as keys or to complete a level can be carried. The console versions, particularly the Mega Drive and Sega Genesis version, run at a considerably higher speed, which increases the difficulty level. A Game Boy Advance version was also in development, but got canceled. There was also a TurboGrafx CD version in the works, but apparently was canceled for unknown reasons. Next, we have Magic Pockets. A boy, known as the Bitmap Kid, has a pair of magic trousers that contain pockets with an infinity amount of storage space, and therefore he stores all of his toys in his pockets. One day, the creatures who live in his pockets decide to keep his toys for themselves and play with them, so the Bitmap Kid must go on a journey to retrieve his toys from the creatures. Weird. Up next, we have the Chaos Engine 2. During the original game, the protagonists succeed in destroying the Chaos Engine, a time-travel device. Its creator, the Baron, appears to have been defeated. However, in the Chaos Engine 2, it transpires that he and the protagonists are all trapped within a temporal singularity created by the destruction of the Chaos Engine device. In order to survive, they must assist the Baron in rebuilding the device, though only one of them will be able to escape the singularity. And the last game on the cart is Z. The objective of the game is to eliminate the opponent by taking out their command fort, either by sending a unit to enter it or by destroying it directly. Alternatively, destroying all of the opponent's units immediately wins the game. All right, so not actually being able to play these games, it kind of annoys me because I know I have an emulation system in here with these games on it that I can play. I'm gonna have to check like maybe one of my Ambernick handhelds. I think it might be on one of those, but I did want to show you some gameplay on all these, so I'm glad I could have done that. Now, just first impressions looking at the games, this is just my opinion on these. Um, and you got to remember, these games are on the Amiga. Amiga wasn't a big system here in the U.S. It was a pretty big like overseas. It's kind of like you know how we had Atari. If you go back, and I love Atari, I'm not bashing Atari, but that's all we had. That was like top of the line right there. That was fucking awesome. And people overseas might feel that way about the Amiga. So, it is what it is. But I didn't get like a burst of excitement on a lot of these games, to be honest. Like, let's start with Cadaver and Cadaver the Payoff. To me, that looks like everything that I hated about playing games on a computer. It just seemed like every time you went towards an object, a menu popped up, and that annoys the hell out of me. That's the reason I don't like these menu style fighting RPGs. I don't play RPGs that you have to have a menu. It's just not for me, man. So Cadaver and the Cadaver the Payoff, uh, definitely games that aren't for me. However, Gods, Magic Pockets, and the Chaos Engine 2 actually looked pretty intriguing, to be honest. Now, I don't know how these are going to control on the Evercade. Hopefully, they, do a little bit of reorganizing on the controllers, kind of like what they did with like the Duke Nukems and stuff. They had to do some like fidgeting around to make it control good, and they did a good job on it. So who knows? Them three games might turn out to control pretty well. Gods did look like it was a little bit sketchy or choppy the way your character moves, but who knows? I mean, it might still be a fun game. So I'm not going to sit here and bash any of these games besides Cadaver. I can tell you right now, I'm not going to like that at all. And Z, I'm not into games like that. Those strategy, uh, it reminds me of like a phone app game. I was into the stuff like that on my phone probably 10, 15 years ago, but now I'm just like, you know what? If I'm going to play a game like that, it's going to be on my phone, not on a console or a handheld. Just not my style. If you like that stuff, cool, but just not for me. So I don't know. I'm considering, and this would be my first blue cartridge that I have ever purchased for the Evercade, just because of those three games: God, Magic Pockets, and the Chaos Engine 2. They look kind of cool. They might be fun. I just know I'm not going to play Cadaver, the other Cadaver, or Z, but hey, half of the cart looks like I might semi enjoy it. So I might give this one a chance. I'm not real sure. Now I kind of feel bad because the first uh, Bitmap Brothers cart, I always called it the Shipmap Brothers because I thought that first cart looked awful. I do not own the first Bitmap Brothers cart. I thought it just looked really bad. So, but this one, I'm kind of considering. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys are considering getting this, me personally, I'm more into the purple carts. I want more arcade carts. But we all have our own preference. Let me know in the comments if you plan on getting this or what you think of these games. So if you are new to the channel, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps out this channel and I greatly appreciate it. And until the next video, game on, everybody.